Good day everyone, and welcome to this video and welcome to this episode. I promised some of you that I will create a little longer video about the game and how much I've done so far. So I would like to show you some new features the game has and what I coded in the last weeks and months since the last episodes. So as you see on the left side we have a couple of new icons, and of course it is on purpose that the 6 icons on the bottom are in a different block than the other icons. There are some blank spaces, some empty spaces, so there will be some new icons, and of course it is also on purpose that these 2 icons, which is Misc and Dozer, are on the bottom of this upper block. So this will be 2 blocks, and of course these 6 blocks, as I told you, are on purpose in another block because these are not about the gameplay. Only the top icons are about the gameplay. What are these bottom icons? The first one is company info, which is, as the name says, a info about our company, some basic information. We can choose a new avatar. I made 16 of these with the help of AI, as many of us do it these days. Is good to go. We can also specify a CEO name. I will say Mr. Prez. And we can also choose a company name and I type Mednap CO as my channel. Info button doesn't work yet. This will be coded in the future. I have some plans. I haven't decided yet what exactly I am going to create and make here. So this is now just an unfinished button. Of course, we see some basic information about our company name, when it was found, our reputation, this is the global reputation in %. What reputation is, I talked about in a previous episode, and you can find the links to the other episodes in the description as well. Of course, we see our startup fund, our bank balance, and our vehicle's worth, and the total of our company's worth. Of course, we also see how many buses, trucks and trams we have. Now it's all 0 because I did not buy anything yet, and so far there are no trains in the game. I have plans to create trains also, but it's not created yet. I also apologize if I make a couple of mistakes, but I record the audio now live, so it's a little harder. But yes, this is company info. Of course, this says euro, and on the bottom left corner we also see how much money we have, and this says euro, and I know in 1971 there was no euro, so on the top left you see the time. The 60 and 59 is the frame rate. So maybe I will choose another type of money, not euros, because in 1971 there was no euro, so this is a little bug, but this can be fixed. So let's see the next icon, which is game options, and now I'd like to tell you 2 things. First is that, as you see, the game is now paused, so time doesn't tick when we are in game options mode. And the other thing is that all the game options are on this single window, on this single page. So graphics, sounds and gameplay, all the options are on this same window. Maybe I will create some sub-windows in the future, but for now this is good to go. It doesn't look very nice, so maybe I will make some graphic changes. Maybe it's too simple, or maybe it's not enough simple, but this is now the game options window. First option is textures, and now we have classic selected, which is, as you see, the classic one. It looks like the original Transport Tycoon game with these little lines at the edge of the tiles. The next one is minimal, which is, as the name says, a minimal style, and I now create some roads so you see how it really looks. And now I use shortcut keys, so that's why you don't see me clicking on the menu icons. I have shortcut keys for almost everything in the game, and I will talk about this in another episode as well. But now I'd like to just build some roads here so you see how this minimal style texture looks. The last one is smooth, which is the same as classic, but you don't have the lines at the edge of the tiles. Of course, I do not use enough different grass textures so you see how it repeats itself. I use 4 or 5 different grass textures so far. Maybe I will use many more in the future, and you also see that because of some mapping issues in the distance you see those lines. So this is not perfect, this is not completely smooth, but I think it looks great. So let's hit classic again. I think this looks the nicest. The second option is filtering, which I now will turn off, and this is what the name says. The texture filtering at the ground is set off, so you see that the textures are a little crispier, a little noisier compared to switching it on. As you see, if I switch it on, it will become a little smoother. So the next option is shades, which to show you, I built now some terrain, some little hills, and as you see on the bottom left, we are at minus 49,000 euros, so we cannot go bankrupt in the game yet. So this is still an unfinished game, still in beta or alpha version, I don't know how to call this, so we cannot go bankrupt. So I created some nice little hills, and to show you what shades are, I switch this off, and as you see, now we have no shades on the ground. Of course, it looks much nicer if we have the shades on. So the next option will be shadows, and to show you shadows, I now built some buildings. As you see, I can build this 3-4 brick building here, but I can't build it here because it's too far from a settlement. What does this mean? If I hit now I, as you see in the hints in the bottom center, I see now which tile is marked as a city, and those are those yellow tiles. That's a city. And of course I have to be within a given distance to a city tile, and these rectangle helps to find a spot. We see these rectangles if we hit the I button, so I can switch on and off this little help, but this helps to find a place. Of course I can rotate the building in every 90 degrees. I built another one here, and of course if I create a new building, that given tile where the building is and the 8 other tiles around it also become the part of the city. So this is how you can grow a city. But I wanted to show you the shadows. As you see, these buildings cast some nice little shadows. And if I turn now the shadows off, now you don't see any shadows. But I think it looks much nicer with shadows. Shadows also affect the trees, but as you see, these are now just small trees, so they don't cast too big shadows. I enlarge this hill a little bit and this one also, and I create some bridge, some stone bridge here. Oh, it's too high. I can't build the bridge because it's too high. So I build the bridge from here, and now you see that this bridge also casts some nice little shadows. Of course, if I switch it off, we don't see any shadows, but I think it looks much nicer with having shadows on. Of course, I can't build a bridge here because we have some trees over there and I don't want to cut them. So this was the option for shadows. The next option is sounds, which you can of course switch off, so you can mute your game, the sound of your game. This doesn't affect the music volume. You can mute the game if you want to hear just your operating system's any other different software sounds, but you want to mute the game. And of course you can select any music. Now I have 4 different musics in the game, and you can set the music volume. And of course if any music is finished, a new music is going to be played, a random number is generated, so that's how it works, of course. What passengers mean, show and hide, I will talk in another episode, and maybe I will have some new game options as well. But for now, let's click OK button, and I can show you some other menu items. For example, save game and load game look the same. You can load any of these previously saved games. I don't load this now, I delete this, so you can of course manage these. Now it's deleted. Of course, saving the game looks the same. You can add a new entry, for example test for video, and I hit save. And if I now fool around and create a lake and hit load and reload test for video, it's reloaded. So info is what the name says, a information about a given tile. So this is grass, this is a building, when it was built, how many inhabitants, demolishing price, the area reputation. This is a bridge. This is a Scots pine. It's 0 month old. It was planted on March 16, 1971. Cut price, area reputation. So you see all the information you need about a given tile. And yes, of course, last option is quit game, but I do not want to click quit the game. And this is a bug. If I quit the game turns darker. I know why this is. This is because I don't update the shadows and the lights when I am at quit game. I fixed this when I was in game options mode, because this happened to me previously, but I forgot to update this at this menu item, so I will fix this in the future. So now you see a little bug. So I'd like to show you another example. For example, I built now a post office. I built it here, and this is the front. So there is a post office. If I hit the I button again, I now see many more rectangles which help me. The inner rectangle, which is now red, shows is the rectangle to make sure that the post office, that the building is close enough to a city tile. So now it's good to go, but now it's too far. And the outer rectangle, which is now white, shows if the post office is far enough from another post office, so it can't be this close. So this says that this place is too close to another post office. So it needs to be at least this far, but it needs to be close enough to a city tile. I know this may be too complicated, but it's not. So I now have two post offices, and let's see some info. This has 0 packages, 0 packs, but this one has 35 packs. Okay, let's build some depot, for example this one. Oh, this says bus depot, but this is a vehicle depot, a road vehicle depot, so I have to rename this depot, because I have depots now for buses and trucks. It's the first one, and I have a depot for the trams, which I will show you in another episode. It's the blue one, but I have to rename this from bus depot to road vehicle depot. Okay, let's jump into this depot, enter depot. On the right side you see the new vehicles, and on the left side you see the vehicles in the depot. Of course, now we have 0 vehicles, but we can choose from 4 different vehicles I created. I made these in Blender. I'm not a genius in Blender. I can only create some low poly objects with some small little textures. Let's hit show vehicle, which is, as the button shows, it shows us the vehicle we want to buy. This is Dromedar. This is a bus with a capacity of 30 passengers, a consumption of 30 liters at every 100 kilometers, the maximum speed, and the new price. Camelus is a little larger. And the bug. The bug is the smallest May car, and the big bug is maybe its brother, its big brother, the big bug. And now I buy this little bug, so I see now one vehicle in my deep depot. On the left side you see this, and we also have a info button for this. We see some basic information: when it was bought, the age, the vehicle, that it's a May car, next inspection. This means that each vehicle needs to be inspected in a given number of days, which is now 29. So after 29 days, this vehicle will automatically drive to the depot for a inspection, which is, as far as I remember now, €5. So I made the fee for this, and after the inspection it goes on its route again if it has a route specified. If the vehicle is in the depot, of course the inspection will also happen, so it doesn't matter if the vehicle is is on the road or not. Capacity is of course how many packages it can carry. Now it has 0 packages. Consumption is as the same as it was listed here. The mileage is 0 because it has no mileage. Maximum speed and current speed. Current speed is of course 0. And it has a new price, a worth, a income and a profit. Maybe it's a little overcomplicated, but I think it's great. Of course we can sell the vehicle, but I don't want to sell it because I want to specify a route. So now this route specifying method is the first I created, and it doesn't have any mistakes, but it's not so great, so I will rewrite this and make this different in the future. I also started this, but it's not finished yet, so for now we have to choose where we want our little bug to go. And as you see, step 1 is to set the route from the depot to the first post office. As a post office has no station, the station for the post office has to be, so the place where the little mail car should go needs to be in front of the post office itself. And these white lines show you that where this is. These white lines show you where this place is. So now I click here and I set the first post office, the first post office. Now I have to set another post office, which I will choose this one. So the rule is that the starting point, the starting post office and the last post office, or the first station and the last station, in other words, must be the same. So each truck goes around in a circle. Now I clicked again this post office, so now the route is set and I can hit enter to save it. Now this vehicle has a road and I can click go drive, and now it's on its way. I see it has 150 packages because there were many packages at that station, and I hit now follow, so I can follow, the camera follows our little bug's adventures. Of course there are no packages at this station because there are no houses around it, because that affects it. And now it will go back, yes, with 0 packages. Of course mileage is counted different than in real life, because everything is smaller in the game, the time goes by faster, the mileage goes by faster. And as you see, we have the next inspection in 3 days. We could call our vehicle home, but we can also cancel it. If the next inspection's time has arrived, so we are at 0 days, which will happen in a couple of seconds. So now the truck needs to be inspected, so now I can't call it home because it needs to come home to the depot. And now it will stop at this at his last station, but it will carry no packages because it's going to come home. So you see now it has 0 packages, but it has 0 packages because it comes home. And the income was decreased by 5 euros because inspection fees is 5 euro. As you see, the new price is 1600, the worth 1592. It has some income, but the profit is less because the new price was higher. So this is how you see all the information. I hit unfollow and I am now back at the depot, and I will buy now the big bag. and I see that no route set yet, so I can't hit go drive, but we have two little icons here, and I select the bug, the smaller one, and I can hit copy route. So now I see a little C here, which means that I copied this route, and I select the big bug and I can paste the route. So now I copied and pasted the route from one track to another and hit go drive. This one has now 15 packages. I exit the depot and look around how they go. I hit the info button here, which is the basic information, and now I see that this is a building. Type is post office, packages 5 packs when it was built, demolition price and area reputation. Of course this has 0 packages because there are no buildings around it. If I build some buildings, for example this one, right here, and another one here again, and hit info again, I did it with the shortcut key, I see now we have 2 packages. I wait a little now, 4 packages. How many packages are here? 5. I saw a little bug because this says this is road, but there is a bus here. This is no bus, this is a truck. So this needs, there is a mail car here. Okay. There is a mail car here, okay. But for the bug it says there is a bus. So yes, this is a little bug again. So there are some bugs in the game, of course. Wonder what will happen when the faster car, because the big bug is slower, what happens if the smaller car reaches the slower one? Let's see. Of course it waits until the bigger one, the slower one, reloads and downloads and uploads. Of course I knew it because I made this program. So as you see, this is how ladders are carried in the game. And of course now it waits again until the big one unloads and uploads. So this is what I wanted to show you in this little video, and as you see now our trees are a little grown. So thank you for watching, and I hope you liked this video, and I try to show you the trams in the next video, the trams and how they move around. The tram icons, the tram rails look like this. I just wanted to show you this, how they look. I don't want to build any trams or buy any trams, I just want to show you how the tram rails look. So thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.